because of a 2 hour plus blackout. But in that time, I managed to hang up my bicycle or bring it out to get hung up, to oil it. It's completely free of soap and water that I had washed it with yesterday, and then rinsed it with fresh water. I did that. I talked to 2 different attorneys. I did that. I sorted out all my clothes that are going to stay outside the house after I bring them to the laundromat. I did that. I got the paint together. I did that. I got the shelves for the cargo can 2 together to get ready to move into the container. I did that. I sorted out some tools. I did that. I mixed some paint. I did that. I cleaned off the outside workbench. I did that. I got 10 pounds of rags cut up into rags so that when I do various jobs, cut up into pieces, usable pieces. I did that. I took 3 boxes out of the house with stuff that's going in the cargo container. I did that because there's not much to do during a blackout. And I gave one of my neighbors rags, and I gave another neighbor grease for his tricycle. Right now, I'm going to be painting. I'm painting everything. Oh, and I also took everything off the kitchen wall and underneath the cabinets out, scraped the floor, washed the floor with some water and a mop, and that's dried off. And now I'm going to paint. I took the microwave outside, which is now garbage, because after 5 years it just broke. So someone said on a video there's big magnets inside there. I'm going to take that apart this afternoon if I have time, and take the magnets out, and I'll put the metal in a pile in front of the house for the metal man. I took the toaster oven out, and I'm getting ready to clean that. I cooked lunch. I did that. And I also ordered materials. Jack Thompson Live. Jack, I didn't mean to write you a story. I know that your brain capacity is only 1,000 words or less. I still haven't gotten my credit card straightened out with my bank. I don't know. And I'm having difficulty switching. Skype was given a credit card like 12, 13 years ago. And same credit card I've always had. And I can switch it to a Filipino bank account, but I just can't find the buttons to do that. So I'm getting ready to paint, Jack. So if there's something that you want to share it, baby. Because once I start painting, I paint everything, and I just continually paint. I might even sing. a little bit. So say what you like to say now, because I want to get the wall above the counter finished. Reverse payment. I have no idea what the hell that means. Like a mortgage? Mortgages, you could do that. Jack, I'm getting ready to get into the painting mode. Okay, you can't. You're slowing down the reality of my painting process. Big time. It just took like 30 seconds to review a comment that I can't comprehend. So, but all things considered, I spent a lot more than 30 seconds trying to add up all the money that you sent yesterday. So I will say again, Salama, the pot's up there. I didn't want to get paint on the pot. All right, I'm gonna go to work, and you guys are gonna watch me work. This is gonna be a work video. And to the person, to the irritant that keeps saying I hate my life. I love my life, dude. I just don't like doing business with the people in the Philippines. So here we go. Mr. Sloppy Happy Painter. And away we go. And away we go. Oh, let me make sure that this is plugged in, because I'm gonna start singing. I don't want to. Okay, where the hell are we? Oh, that thing. No, that's not supposed to be there. Okay, that should be over there, like that. Okay, I have it on super wide angle. So you're gonna get. Now I might get a little bit of paint on me. Money, 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 money. So here are the instruments of which I will paint with: a 6-inch stucco brush and a 2.5-inch high-quality Chinese bristle brush. Money, 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 money. Now I'm not a good painter. I'm a fast painter, not a good painter. All right. I think I already got paint on the count. Imagine that. All right. Could have avoided that. Could have avoided that. Maybe. Well, let me clean the counter a little bit. Ah, the bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. And what do you think he saw? Saw a bunch of stinkweeds. He saw a bunch of stinkweeds. He saw a bunch of stinkweeds. And what do you think he did? Well, he ate up all the stinkweeds. He ate up all the stinkweeds. He ate up all the stinkweeds. And what do you think of that? That's the short version. But because you're going to be here for a while, I'm going to give you the long version as well. So, the long version goes as follows. Oh, la 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 la. Ah, the bear went over the... My dad used to sing this song to me as a child, I remember. On Sunday morning, he would sing, "The bear went over the mountain." So, I'm going to sing it for you, in memory of dear old dad. So, here we go. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. And what do you think he saw? He saw another mountain. He saw another mountain. He saw another mountain. And what do you think he did? He climbed the other mountain. He climbed the other mountain. He climbed the other mountain. And what do you think he saw? Oh my God, what do you think he saw on the other side of the mountain? Well, he saw a bunch of stinkweeds. He saw a bunch of stinkweeds. He saw a bunch of stinkweeds. And what do you think he did? Ah, you know what he did. He ate up all the stinkweeds. He ate up all the stinkweeds. He ate up all the stinkweeds. And what do you think he got? Ah, he got an awful bellyache. He got an awful bellyache. He got an awful bellyache. And what do you think he did? Here's the best part, baby. He did it all over the mountain. Blah! He did it all over the mountain. Blah! He did it all over the mountain. And what do you think of that? Oh my God, it reminds me of being a little kid again. Yeah, I'm the unhappy guy. Every day I wake up and accomplish 10 or 15 things, if possible. Now, one of the things I also was upset about because of the blackout is because 90, on average, I get about 90 messages a week on Facebook. This week, it jumped up into the 100 plus 150 because of my birthday. And I really wanted to address some of the comments on the happy birthday wishes from people. I don't know, maybe it's a special day, 66th birthday, but people I haven't heard from in 10 years wishing me a happy birthday. So I might just post a mass video. People that I haven't heard from or talked to or had no idea they were still on Facebook, because I don't do Facebook, sending me messages up the yin yang, which is very nice, but it's also very time consuming. So I would have did a little bit of that. I try to get about 10 or 12 of those messages done a day, and then during the course of a day, but apparently that ain't gonna happen today, that's for sure. So if you guys want, I could sing something else. Jingle bells. I know Jingle Bells. I don't know a lot of songs. Jingle bells. You know what I could do? I could just do Another Bad One Over the Mountain. I like that song. One of my favorites. But I had to shut the fan off so you could hear the full volume. So one thing I got to do is right here. Now this is where the water cooler goes, and I just want to brighten this place up a little bit, just because now it's been 3 years, and all the cooking grease and everything is starting to make it look a little brown. Rather have brighten it up, because I was in a good mood today because I got good news from the lawyer. Really good news from the lawyer. Things are moving along. There was an itinerary schedule set up about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I just got confirmation that even though that schedule was a month and a half, almost 2 months in advance of what was actually happening at the time, the schedule is on schedule. So I will guarantee you that before Halloween, let's just say before Halloween, in case there's any kind of a setback, before Halloween, there's going to be a lot of happy people on social media, and one very unhappy pamphlet. And but that's a guarantee. So the lawyer it was confirmed via email that everything is on schedule. So if you guys think that I was somehow lying to you about something, or something or other wasn't true, it's true, baby. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen before Halloween. So it's strange because they're using Halloween as a trip day, like. And what is Halloween? It's a trick or a treat, or in this case, oh baby, it's going to be a treat to us, and somebody's going to be shelling out the cash, boy. The cash is going to have to come in by the stack. They'll have to weigh it. That's how much cash is going to be needed for to fix this problem. Well, there ain't going to be no fixing of the problem. The problem is not going to get fixed. The problem is that the outcome is pretty much set in stone. There's enough evidence to make that happen. There's enough evidence that the people that took the case and the agencies that reviewed the case would not have taken the case unless there was something worthy, something justifiable. So you guys are going to have some interesting things, learning some interesting things about how different the American court systems are as opposed to Philippines court systems. They work on completely different venues. They don't need facial recognition. And aside from that, the agencies that are soon to be involved have some of the best voice recognition. No, not some. The best voice recognition hard software available to humanity. They could pick up an errant conversation between an American in America and speaking Arabic, if they wanted to, and an Arab speaking Arabic in Arabia by tonal frequencies, just tonal frequencies, like in the movies. And now they have that technology available. And one of the agencies that's probably going to be working on this has that technology available to them if they needed it. So they can basically, also they could pick up typing. The way you type, that's a different kind of a signature that they have. The mistakes that are made repeatedly in your typing documents, well, they have a program that will pick up your mistakes from your typing on the internet. So if you type something on the internet in 2004 and you're basically your internet signature, or the way that your typing was typed and the mistakes that you made, even though it was 15 years ago, you still have basically, it's kind of like a footprint or a fingerprint. They call it a fingerprint. And they can do that with stuff from typing errors. They can do it with voice recognition. They can do it with facial recognition, or all three. And that's one of the agencies that should be getting involved relatively as a public event relatively soon. First, there's 3 different parts to this thing. There's the initiation stage, which should happen in about 2 weeks. The first notice will be handed out right around the 13th of October, I think it was, if I remember correctly. I forget. And so right around the 13th of October, there should be a notification that something happens. And then someone will be publicly notified, personally notified and publicly notified that something is about to happen. And that they will have to go somewhere and bring representation, they call it. There'll be representation needed for this event that's coming October 13th or thereabouts, somewhere in that area. I won't give you the exact date, although I know the exact date. I might even be jumping the gun by a few days, but it's going to happen. That's the key element there. It's going to happen, baby. Boy, like the fact that I make a mess when I paint, that's a guarantee. Well, oh my God. By the 13th or the 14th of the month, we'll have more information about this whole thing. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a rag. Okay. I forget. I was such a happy camper. Okay, now. I don't really have to get it all up. I don't really care about it that much, the paint, because it's a countertop and gets washed every 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months anyway. So within 6 or 7 months, I'll get the rest of the paint off the countertop, no problem. Now, I'm going to go low. I'm going to go low. I'm going to check the comments. See how, and if you guys want me to sing the Bad One Over the Mountain again, I'll sing it again. I have no problem with that. I could bring back Warren back. I could bring an irritant. I could bring Warren back for the right money. I could bust out my Ouija board and bring that fat man back to life. But it has to be a large sum of money, a large sum, and you're gonna have to ask nice, and ask twice. How did that happen? All right, well. So, wow, that was strange what just happened here. Either my bucket leaks, that's impossible. Where did that paint come from? All right. Huh. Paint, I got paint everywhere already, and I didn't even start yet, baby. I didn't even start. So I'm going to get on my hands and knees here. Let's see if you can see. Now, you don't have to worry because I don't have my skirt shorts on. So I won't be exposing myself. And I never did expose myself. What did happen was I walked in front of the camera naked as an accident. It wasn't on purpose. But there's a low class, whoop, I talk about low class and I farted. There's a low class blogger that keeps going around and stating that I exposed myself. The word exposed means intentional. It's something that was done intentional. I did not intentionally expose myself. So what we have there is a really low class liar, 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 pants on fire, exposing and accidentally walking in front of the camera naked. Two different things, Bubba. And you're going to pay for that. Okay, so I'm going down here. And the reason why I'm painting is because today is, oh, what a great day to paint. It's like 92 or 93 degrees in the sun outside. And it's like 0% humidity. Oh, like 0% humidity. So when you have conditions like that, you put the fan on and the paint dries right away. So what I got to do now, I didn't prepare properly because there was a blackout when I started painting. All right, so I have one more thing to do. I have to blow all the dust out of the corners from on the floor and on the wall with the commercial blower that I have. So let me get the dust. I swept it, scraped it, and washed it, but then I scraped it again. I just got the heavy stuff off the first time. I suggest if you guys do work in construction, you get a blower like this. This is a Hitachi blower. I bought it 6 years ago for $100. It was over $100. I think I paid was it $70? I don't know what it was. It's a Hitachi blower, but my God, it saves you 1,000 hours of cleanup. Probably save you 1,000 hours in a year if you do a lot of work in construction. getting the sawdust out of the cracks and off the windowsills and stuff. Yes, sir. Now, I just swept, scraped, and then swept again, and then scraped. And any dust or sand that was on the floor just got blown into one corner of the house on the other side of the toilet bowl. And I'll pick that up or blow it out the door as soon as I get a chance. But that just saved me 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of sweeping. So if you don't think that having a blower is handy, well, it is. So that's up to you, of course. But the outlay of I think they're $140. Now I think they are $140. The initial outlay is well worth the cost of the blower. So now we're coming into the stucco brush. The stucco brush. All right, I'm going to have to lay on top of the painted surface now. I should have painted. I painted myself into a corner here. I think I just laid on a pile of paint, baby. I know I did. I know I did. I did. My God, now I have paint on my chest. Oh, what am I to do? What is the happy painter to do, baby? Oh. Oh my God. I got paint all over everything already, and I didn't even start. I didn't even get started yet, baby. But one thing I got to worry about right now, the worrying has to start right at this second, is I got to put a support underneath this. It's a 3/4 inch, 1 inch marble countertop, and it's caving in from the weight. So it's a little bit of a problem because I think it's ready to fall down actually. And I only have a support over here. So, uh-oh. I don't think I could get it up that much higher. I would have had this ready, but we had no electric. Oh, shit. I got paint on my... All right, you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm not going to use this piece. All right? I'm going to get my ruler. A ruler. Let me finish painting under here. And I'm going to go out and cut of support. Maybe 2. This house only has to last. See, now another reason why I'm doing this now is because what's about to happen is I'm about ready to move the house so I can move the container so I can start digging the last 2 foundation footings out. And I'm afraid when I jack the house up, this countertop will collapse if I don't support it properly now before I start jacking stuff up. So where is my box with the tools in it? Right there. All right, I need one at exactly 14 inches. Is that a 1/2 inch drop there? 14, I'll go with 14 1/8. And one a 12 1/2. 14 1/8. 14 1/8 and 12 1/2. So I'll be back inside the house in about a minute. Or well, 14 1/2 and 12 1/8. 14 1/8 and 12 1/2, right? 14. Now 14 1/8, if I put that, that's a problem. 14 1/8 and 12 1/2. Actually, it's 13. 14 1/8 and 13. But if I put a saddle on it, I'll have to reduce the saddle. Reduce for the saddle. So I'm going to put a saddle on the 14 1/8, but no saddle on the 12 1/2. So let me finish painting this one section here. I'll put the fan on. I'll put the fan on, and then I'll be back. I'll go cut the wood, even if I have to. I have the wood ready. I just didn't have the sizes until just now. All right, so 12 1/2, 14 1/8. 14 1/8 gets a saddle. 12 1/2 and 14 1/8. 14 1/8 gets a saddle. I should probably write it down. I have a bad memory. For with the saddle, without the saddle, stuff like that. So I'll write it down on a little sheet of paper here. 14 1/2, 14 1/8, 14 1/8, 14 1/8, 14 1/8 with saddle, 12 1/2 plus no saddle. I guess I could take you guys outside. Okay, I'll just take you guys outside and show you what a man does when he needs something. He goes out and gets the right tool for the right job, and real man anyway. There's a big difference between a real man and and you guys on YouTube. You guys are a trip, man. Uh-oh. My water is back on. Okay, we'll shut that off. Okay, now, real men. I think I'll enjoy the luxury of the chainsaw. I think I'll be chainsawing it today. So, there's my bicycle all cleaned up. I think I'll go get the chainsaw. I'll be right back. Huh. 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 Oh! I just found a piece of wood that is 14 and a half, which is very nice. Not the size I want, but close. So I have to now mark it. So this piece here, I take off 1 inch, 1 inch off this piece, and this piece, I take off the thickness of the saddle plus 3/8. All right, the saddle plus 3/8. I need to get a marking instrument. Oh boy. All right. All right. 14 and an eighth, less the saddle, 12 and a half. 14 and an eighth, less the saddle, 12 and a half. 14 and an eighth, plus the saddle, 12 and a half. $14 and an eighth, less the saddle. then this is 12 and a half. Just mark it to be sure I don't have an errant mistake. Alrighty, so this goes with this, which goes with that, which goes with this, which goes with this, which goes with this, which goes with this, like that. Two more. Two more. Now I have a hammer inside, and I will need a hammer to raise up the weight of that upper counter, because I would say the marble countertop weighs about, well, it weighs well over 100 pounds, that's for sure. Mein hapon. Bugnaw today, yeah? Bugnaw? Init kaayo. Guy's got all his motorcycle leathers and stuff on. Well, I don't know if it's a leather jacket, but it's certainly good motorcycle gear, safety gear, and it's got to be hot inside that safety gear. That, there's no doubt about it in my mind at all. That guy is, look at this, it's 90 something degrees. It's 130 in the sun. And that guy, Bugnaw, yeah? Bugnaw? Yeah, baby. You say Bugnaw and it happens. Cool. Ah, Bugnaw. In it. Init kayo. Have a nice day, amigo. I always tell people, if you believe it's cold, you'll be cooler. It won't make you cool, but it'll make you think that you're cool, and that makes you cool, which is pretty cool, right? Okay, so I'm going to throw the 12.5 in over there first. Real men work every day. Others hire real men to do their work. That's so true. That's like, you're getting philosophical like the great Barry Jordan with his posts. He's getting very philosophical. Okay, hammer. Hammer, I know I have a hammer in here because I set up the toolbox this morning. And I set the toolbox up with a hammer. So, uh-oh. I left out one. Okay. Uh-oh. If I put this like this, that'll be okay. I'm going to have to really do some finessing here. Okay, well, I would have opted for a different method, but I'm in a hurry. Uh-oh. Well, this is going to be quite the effort to bring it up an inch plus. I don't know that I'm going to get this one as easy as the first one, but I'm going to get it. See, I do know I'm going to get it, but I don't know that I'm going to get it. Well, it's only 100 pounds, and with an arm and movement like I have, it should work. Holy mackerel. Not good. Not good. One piece is higher than the other. It didn't, the plywood is bowed where I measured the 14 1/8. It's bowed 3/4 of an inch, so that would make this top piece 3/4 of an inch off, and that's what it's off. See, the countertop is broke. It was broke when I got it. Somebody gave it to me because it was broke. And okay, so what I need to do is chop off 3/4 plus a half off this piece here. 3/4 plus a ½ inch for the plywood. I'm going to use as a header on the top. 3/4 and a half is 1 1/4 inches. And then I need a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. You guys come with me. I don't trust you. Oh, I got Jack here. I trust you now. 3/4 plus a half. I didn't see that bow because everything is freshly painted, and I was actually not looking for it, but it's okay. It's longer rather than shorter. So, okay. Three quarters and a half. I'll make a mark. An inch and a quarter. I'll square it off with my square here. I'll make sure I have a piece of 1/2 inch plywood that I want to use for that. And I do. Okay. It's a nice wide, it's got a nice wide footing to it. 6 inches wide, be perfect. Two pulls. All right. This should work, or I do believe it'll work. Should work. Because that's only really a 3/8 piece of plywood. See how good I am to you people? Taking you where I go, you go. I remember a guy needed to make a delivery and didn't have a car. His car broke down. And he had to go from, well, let's just say he had to go from point A to point B. And his car broke down. And he worked for a guy that would not at all understand why he wasn't where he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be there. And his car was supposed to have been fixed. And we went to go get the car early in the morning, and it wasn't fixed. Wasn't even worked on. And that guy had to be someplace. He went home, he got a pile of cash, and he bought a Yugo, a car called the Yugo. And his car called the Yugo, I don't know, it was like some cheap brand car. And he, it was funny because he said, wherever you go, I go. And luckily he bought the car, signed the papers, got the car registered temporarily, all in the same day, and took off to where he was supposed to be. Had he not done that, he would have been in trouble. There's certain things that you did not do to a certain individual. If you were supposed to be someplace, you should be there. You should definitely be there. And he was. And he kept that car for a long time. He had a Corvette also. But he goes, this thing is great on gas, and he had long trips to make. And he used that car for years, maybe 1.5 or 2 years. Now, it's much better than it was. I can live with that. I can live with that. He had a Yugo. And that was like funny because he goes, I need a car. And he couldn't rent a car. He could not rent a car. He couldn't rent a car because I don't think he had a credit card. I'm not sure, but he had cash. And back then, cash is a universal language. So he bought a Yugo, and wherever you go, I go. Was his motto for many years. Where's my blower? Ah, I lost the blower. There it is. See, I didn't want to make it perfectly level. I kind of like that it's beveled towards the middle. Any water that spills on the counter doesn't come and spill on my knees or my legs. It just goes back towards the back of the house or the building or the shack. Well, you're going to regret the shack because you have been identified by the shack comments, dude. You have been identified in so many different ways. When you try to say that's not me, this ain't the Philippines, baby. It's not the Philippines. You're not in Kansas anymore. You're not playing the same game. We upped it to a completely different level. Anyway. All right, now that's done. Now, we'll put the yellow. We're not painting anything yellow. Everything is going to get painted white. Light, a nice, bright, light color white. Okay. So, the next thing is the floor, right? All right. I don't know what the hell you could see. I forgot to set the camera up. I sure do want you to watch what it looks like for a real man working when it's 90-something degrees out. And it's probably 110 degrees in here. It's hot today. Close enough, right? Oh. Oh. Wherever you go, I go. Wherever I go, you go. What a damn... That was like an inside joke. But I don't know how many years. A long time. Very long time. How's that possible? Impossible. Okay. There you go. He's lucky he was transporting small things. But that wasn't a big car. Okay, now. Uh-oh. I found the brush. I knew I had another one of those little brushes. And what else? I found tissues? No. Oh my. Oh my. Cosmetics. And my damn, did I just find that? Soap. Shampoo. I did. Just found a whole bunch of shampoo. Okay. Huh. Now the reason that you see light coming in from outside the house is because I ripped out the sill outside the house. I ripped it out. It was rotten about a while back. And being that I was going to raise the house, I replaced the sill in a different fashion than the way it was when I built the house. So, you're gonna see light. Now that gets covered up. I took the board, I took an addition, I have an additional floorboard for in here. That gets brought back in a little while. Painted. All right, what I'm going to do now, ow, that's sharp. Huh. Sharp because it's a knife, coconut knife, but none the same, a knife. It's a coconut shredding tool. Yeah. All right, we lost the paintbrush. No, here it is. I'm a good painter, yeah? I'm a good painter. I know that. You know that. And now everybody knows that. Oh. Oh. It is hot. It is very hot in here. And I don't have the front window open because the wind is blowing from the ocean. Hard. Pretty hard. And when it blows from that direction, it blows pollen from the weeds and pollen from the tree outside all over everything in the house. Now, I don't really care about that much, but I don't need any additional dust in here today. So. Plus, all right, now that's done. Now, I need to go get the double floor. I should have got that while I was outside, yeah? I have it right outside the door. Let me go get it. No sense in procrastinating. I need it. I'm almost out. Oh. John. Oh. throw some stuff. Okay, now, the double floor is nothing more than a bunch of junk scrap plywood because, as I said, I'll be moving the house soon. So, it's kind of like a double floor, but it's not exactly a double floor. It's a house. It's a temporary, it's a shack house. Double floor. Set up to work in conjunction with this thing behind me here. This tarpaulin. The tarpaulin goes down first on the floor. And then the plywood goes over the tarpaulin. So the tarpaulin blocks a lot of the smaller stuff, holes, and the plywood holds the tarpaulin down. It's just temporary. Maybe till I raise the house, and then it all becomes real. But in the meantime, it's just the tarpaulin up against the wall and the wood on top of it. The bottom part of the tarpaulin, that to hold the tarpaulin in place only. There's no. And then outside I have another strap that I put on. I live a little bit of a Spartan lifestyle, but real men, we can do that because we are real men. Just remember that when the time comes and you have to face the piper and pay the piper, and that time will come, just remember, real men can do just about anything. Living with air leaks in the side of their houses, small, insignificant part of their venue. We can do other things too. Okay, now that is, so now what I'm going to do now, and I got to do this even though it's going to interfere with your life a little bit. I got to put the fan on. The big fan, so that this dries out underneath the this dries out. I'm not going to paint those small pieces because they're just garbage plywood. Okay. So the next thing, I'm going to put the big fan on. I'll read the comments because after I put that big fan on, I won't be able to, well, I won't hear the comments anyway, but after I put that big fan on, I'm going to go to work on the main body of the floor. And I'm going to start storing stuff underneath the cabinet. So, first things first, let's get the glasses on. Okay, so that's good. There's no comments. Thank you. When I'm working, I think it's best to have no comments, but thank you very much for abiding by my wishes there. I could take that big bin Well, you know what I could do right now? I could put this big fan on. Okay, so the big fan is going on, and I won't be able to, you may not be able to hear me, and I don't care. I got to get this job done. It's only about 2 o'clock now, and I'll be running out of really nice, dry, hot air outside there. And what I am going to do is move the camera a little bit. The wind changed direction from when I talked to you about it before, or from the last time I checked. So I'll be opening up the big window. got that part done. Now, these brackets. It's not dry enough yet. Okay. I never opened up the window. I forgot to open up the window. Open it up now. Oh boy, what a mess. Every day, I increase the size of the mess exponentially. Every day. Ah! All right. Now, huh. Ah! Oh. Oh. Very, very nice. Now, if I could just get this floor to dry up before the end of the day, I'll go outside now. And what I'll do outside is I'm going to oil up my bicycle. I have the corrosion block. I'll be using that as the lubricant on the chain. And right now we got half the floor done now. I'm going to do the rest of that one piece of floor. I'm going to put the box with the kitchenwares over on top of the painted part of the floor. Get it out of my way. Then to leave it in the house. And I don't really need I'm going to need to be able to get in and out of there. Right? Getting tired. Ow, 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 well, for now, I'm done. What I need to do now is get outside. It's after 2 o'clock, right? Oh, 20 to 3. I didn't expect that. No, I didn't expect 20 to 3. I expected 2 o'clock. Okay, 20 to 3. That's a problem. I'm running out of time, but I'm running out of energy. All right, I'm done painting. I gotta go oil the bike. That's my priority because the bike has to stay outside at least for tonight. And if it rains, I don't want water getting inside everything I clean. Oh boy, I'm out of water. Oh. Ah! Now, I'm just going to throw a little water on top of the paint. And I'm going to have a little bit of water. I'll put the top on the paint. Oh. You guys are going to watch me oil the bike. Okay, so let's put this up there, put this out of the way. I'm going to look at the comments, and then after that, I won't be looking at the comments for a while. I just want to sit down for 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, it's hot, and I've been going since 5:30 this morning. Doing something since 5:30 this morning. Not this. Oh. All right. All right. So, as much of a mess that I made, I used, believe it or not, I used the most expensive paint that there is. It's an industrial grade concrete coat. Now it says you could put it straight on the concrete after the concrete cures, but that's nonsense. You should always put it on 20 or 30% first coat, and then within a half an hour after you put the first coat on, then you give it a full coat. Because concrete has a dusty surface, a porous and a dusty surface. But if you put it on 20% thinned out with distilled water, or Acryl 60 is even better, it'll make a bond much better and lasting. Whereas if you just put that same paint on a concrete wall, like a 10 by 10 section, and then it's exposed to the sun, you know, most of the day, and you put another 10 by 10 section next to it, the way I just explained, with Acryl 60, thinned out with little Acryl 60 and water. In 10 years, the straight paint on the concrete will just completely blister off. And in 10 years, the Acryl 60 will just change color. That's it. It won't peel. Never will. It won't peel for 20 years. But you can't buy Acryl 60 in the Philippines, or you couldn't a couple of years ago when I tried to buy it. So I brought a few gallons, like 3 or 1, maybe 2 gallons from America, because Home Depot should have had Acryl 60 in 5-gallon buckets, and when I went there, they didn't. They didn't have any Acryl 60. Apparently, there was some sort of shortage. I could have ordered it online, but I thought I'd get back to Home Depot, but they didn't have it. My hardware stores, Lumber Supply, didn't have it. I had a couple of gallons, and I said, you know what? By the time I'm ready to use it on the hotel, the worst possible case scenario is I will buy it, have it delivered to my shipper in 4-gallon boxes, which would be 32 pounds. And I'll have them ship it to me. But I think I saw it on Lazada. If you could order anything from Lazada. Why do I even mention that name? It just gets me upset, I'll tell you that. All right, I'm going outside to spray the bicycle down with a high quality oil. In case it rains tonight, I don't want oil going inside the gear mechanisms that I polished up with soap and water and a wire brush yesterday. And I waited for the afternoon to do that job because the sun has now set on the far side of the container and behind the tree. So I'll be working in the shade. Because after that, man, you don't want to be working out in the sun with that corrosion block evaporating in your face. It'll make you dizzy. Okay, let's go outside. Let's go. Guapo. Oh, yeah, the wind did change direction. That's for sure. Now it's coming from behind the house, not in front of the house, which is a good thing. Now, I wanted to hang that. So I could go through the gears. So here's how that's going to happen. And it's going to happen. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so we're going to throw a rope over the boom and pick the bike up with the rope. Today's rope will be a piece of 1/2-inch hemp. The rope we'll be using today will be a piece of 1/2-inch hemp. it was perfectly balanced, but it was binding up the shifting cape. I got to put the rope on the inside of the shifting cape. Then it would be good. Huh, 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 ah, ah. Huh. All right, well, there's a couple of things wrong here. Here's the first. No, that's fine. That cable shifts. This is where it's froze down here. Ah, okay. I see what the problem is now. It's not with the shifter. One of the links on the chain was a little rusty. But once I put the oil on that, it'll be okay. One of the links was froze up solid. I remember that from yesterday. When I was cleaning it up, one link was a little stiff. So it caused it to be stiff. Okay, I'm gonna go get the lubricant. The first thing I'm gonna lubricate is the chain. And then the reason I have the bike hanging like that is because the cable has shielding. I put oil in from the top end of the shielding, then I turn the bike upside down and put it in from the bottom end of the shielding. in case it doesn't go all the way through the first time. It goes through from the bottom up and the top down. Oh. 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 Ah. Oh. Oh. You want to hear a funny story? I'll save it for another time. All the gears, they be working. All of them. Except number one speed. I'm out of bounds on that. Not sure why. No, it's number 18. Got it. It just popped in. I guess you got to bring it down. I haven't rode my bike in a year and a half. I forget. I guess you got to bring it down and then bring it into the high gear. One sprocket at a time. In order. Could be wrong. But either way, they're all working. And I never, very rarely will I ever use that high speed anyway. Not anymore. It's pretty hard to maintain that. All right. All right. All right. one thing I can't undo is the bicycle lock. I'm gonna need a wrench for that. Socket wrench. And that'll be when I turn the bike upside down tomorrow. But for now, oof, for now, I'm good. It's also hot. I'm tired. It's getting late. And I got a lot of work to do to clean up. Ah. All right, so all the gears are working. The only thing that still froze is the bicycle lock that locks the bicycle lock onto the bicycle. Huh. Imagine that. All right. Let's get a rag. All right, I'm gonna. Oh boy. I'm gonna put these clothes towards. I want to put oil, get the oil off my hands first. I'm really hot. I'm really tired. That's what I really am. Okay. Ah. I gotta do one more thing. Oh, I'm gonna take a break first. I'm gonna wash my hands first. Oh. 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 Oh, it's hot. Oh. 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 Oh, oh. Well, I gotta wash. I gotta wash something else before I go in the house. Ugh. I gotta make a little clean, soapy water. I'll be right there. Huh. Oh, boy. Ah. All right. Huh. 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 Oh. Huh. 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 Oh, I'll be right back. Oh, 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 oh. 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 All right, two more things. I got to cover up the rag box because I don't have room for it in the cargo one, and I'm not opening up cargo two to put it in today. All right, so I got to cover this up, this box up. Just the rags, it's just rags. If it gets wet, it's still just rags. Oh. Oh, sure hope I have water out here. I do. Okay. Oh. Oh. All right, that's one thing. Next thing, I got to get the tire up to the roof. And I didn't paint it. I'm not happy about that. Should have painted it. Oh. I should have painted it. I should have painted it. I could paint it now. But then I'd be painting it white. I hate white tires. But any color is better than no paint. It's going to be sitting up in the sun all day for months. Oh boy. Ugh. It's an emergency. We have the emergency white paint. That's what we have. We have the emergency white paint. This is actually quite a good quality paint, so I know it'll stick. Sticks to anything, this paint. Oh. Emergency paint job. White. The color of the day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Maybe if I put water on my head and cool off a little bit, I'll be better. Oh. 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 Oh yeah. I feel better already. I know what the problem is. Today, I spent 3 hours in the morning sun when the electric went off. 2 hours and like 15 minutes I was out in the sun, and only when I came in the house did the electric go back on. And then another hour or so out here now. Sun just beats you up a little bit, beats you up a little bit, beats you up a lot until you get used to it. And I haven't worked in 4 days because I had to go to the city 3 times last week. I didn't have an option. 2 times for the, once for the jet ski, once for the, once for the chariot, twice for the doctor. Once for the cardiac panel, and once for the doctor to get the paperwork to get a cardiac panel, which they just... Well, you know what? I don't even know if they checked for that. I don't care. Nice job. I'm a good painter, boy. I gotta tell you. I get shit done. I get the job done. I get the job done. Uh, 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 uh. Oh, I didn't bring the bike over here yet. Okay. I'll do that after I put the tire on the roof. Which is going to be in about 5 minutes. Wow. What happened there? Where did that come from? Where does it go? All right. Tire on the roof. And then bicycle. Oh. 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 Ah. Ah. Ha. 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 did good. That tire weighs about 35 pounds. Not much, but at the end of a long day, it's a little bit of an effort. Okay, next thing, put the ladder in the container, and then we'll go get the bike. Oh. Ah. Right out. Be right out. Be right out. Be right out. Be right out. Huh. I'll be right out. Uh-huh. I'll be right out. Soap and 2 sets of keys. Soap and 2 sets of keys, and I also need to take a pill. I'll be right out. Huh. Ah, 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 ah. Got the soap. Ah, ah. I got something to do. I got to turn on the back lights. Oh, all right. My other set of keys. Ah, 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 ah. All right, I'm gonna get the bike. Actually, it's quite a heavy bike. The frame tubes are aluminum, but the metal supports for the frames are metal. Handlebar yoke, metal. Aluminum rims. I think the bike is, it's a Raleigh MT300. I think it weighs, if I remember correctly, with the handlebars I have on it, with the rig I got, with the back seat, and with the lock, I think it weighs 32 pounds. Because that yoke in the handlebar, that's metal. This weighs not so much, but it's marine aluminum. The lock weighs about 1.5 kilos. These pieces are steel, but this is aluminum pressed into the steel. So it's a nice bike. I think I paid, with that back bracket and the handlebar rigging like that, which you could go right online and look at Raleigh MT300s. You could go right online and find that bike set up just the way it is, without that back bracket. With the handlebars, that kind of seat. At the time, I think I paid $630 for the bike. Okay. I'm going to just wash up a little bit, and then I'm going to turn the camera off of me, and then I'll finish. I'll shut the live stream down. Can't even get you to promise to talk loud. Please. You're not going to keep anything. Yeah, I can't even get Oh. Ah. Ah. All right, I'm gonna shut down the live stream. Yep. Okay, it's still on. I'm gonna bring it in the house and charge it back up. I know it's still on because I could see a shadow of it being on, but there's no light on the screen. All right, so I'm gonna plug it back in. Say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for stopping by. All right, well, boy, I timed it to within seconds of when the power, I mean, you know what an interesting thing about the internet here, when the computer lost internet or power, because it didn't have a battery in it, the computer shut off altogether. And then you had to start a new stream. There was no way to get back onto the live stream. But with the cell phone, or at least with this one, the battery can die, and well, you lose internet connection for half an hour, and when you put it back on, you